So can you get a Saigon river view for just $500 a month? Is it cheaper than Bangkok, Thailand? So $500 in my hand. So by the end of this video, you'll find out whether Saigon is a bargain or a budget trap. My name is Ken Duong, international business immigration attorney with over 16 years of experience helping individuals and companies relocate all over the world, especially here in Vietnam. I've been living here for 12 years straight through 2 currency devaluations, a pandemic, and more coffee than a cardiologist would recommend. Everything you hear comes from my own bank statements, utility invoices, and receipts collected from supermarkets during this year. We convert $1 to 26,000 VND. Prices yo-yo faster than the District 1 rent contract. Treat this video as a snapshot and general advice on the cost of living in Saigon for now, not gospel for the next 10 years. Today, I slice through the Instagram and YouTube fantasies of the world's cheapest place to live in 2025 and show you what the real cost of living in the Ho Chi Minh City in 2025. So let's get started. So every cost changes with lifestyle. So we're gonna benchmark 3 lifestyle tiers. Number 1, budget nomad. Fan-cooled room away from the city, 2 street food meals a day, minimalist lifestyle. Number 2, balanced expat. Furnished 1 bedroom in Thao Dinh, weekend date nights, and gym membership. Number 3, baller executive. Furnished 2 bedroom in Vinhomes Golden River, private driver, and only imported almond milk. Totals land at the end, but you must understand every line item. Rent dominates every budget. A medium 1 bedroom in Thao Dinh would go for about 18 million or $690 a month. They'll most likely ask for 2 months deposit and the first month of rent. Thao Dinh is quite popular amongst expats, and it's where you can find high-end residential buildings. For an upscale 2-bedroom apartment in a Class A plus condo, you would have a minimum of at least $1,200 per month with close to the downtown and a pretty good view. Budget nomads will cut down to 7 million VND or about $270 a month, living further away in such places as Tăng Bần or District 12. You will lose some of the river views, but you have less noise because you are further away from downtown. For utilities, expect about $96 per month to have air conditioning for a 2-bedroom. Even if you don't love AC, you will still need it. At 34 degrees Celsius and 80% humidity, it is really not a luxury anymore. For electricity, on average, it's about 15 cents per kilowatt. Water is quite cheap. You expect to pay about $5 a month. And then you expect to pay about $12 a month for about 200 megabytes of fast internet. Total fees for management is roughly about $38. If you don't want to clean your own house, housekeeping is quite affordable. You can book through an app called Btasky for roughly about $18 for 4 hours of cleaning. Or if you want to hire a full-time cleaner that lives with you, it's about $230 to $270 per month. But you have to give her own room. Pro tip, keep your valuable items in a locked safe. Petty theft is quite common. I learned it the hard way. If you would rather buy an apartment in Saigon instead of renting, we made a video about how to buy in Saigon, so click on the right-hand corner to see that video. In summary, renting is still much cheaper than buying. And as for groceries, they are quite affordable, but you need to know where to go. Either you go the traditional way, which are the wet markets, or the supermarkets. A kilo of rice averages 11,000 or 42 cents. A dozen eggs, 39,000 or $1.5. A kilo of local chicken breast is 66,000 or $2.5. A total for the month would be about $90 US if you cook the Vietnamese style. If you go to air-conditioned supermarkets such as Winmart, Big C, Co-op, or Bat Wa San, it is more expensive. So your total cost for groceries per month will be about $150 US. For luxury and premium items, you can go to upscale supermarkets like Annam Gourmet. Add the foreign luxury premium items such as quinoa, cheddar, or blueberries, and you have prices that are 50% above shelf prices in Singapore. Thus, this would bring your total expenses per month to about $350. Mobile data is Vietnam's badge of bargain. You can get unlimited data for 5G for only $8 a month with Viettel. You can't go wrong with that. Don't like to cook? Let's go eat the city. A cơm tấm will go for about 45,000 VND, which is less than $2. A mid-range beach roll for two with two mains and maybe a drink will go for about 1.2 million or about $46. And an upscale omakase at a Japanese restaurant will go for about 3 million or $120 per person. Coffee culture runs deep in Vietnam. So a café soda in the streets would be $1 to $2. But if you have a specialty coffee, such as a pour-over coffee, you're looking at about $4. Now that you finished your meal, how are you gonna get home? So when it comes to transportation, you can use a ride-sharing app like Grab, which is very similar to Uber in the United States. You have two options. Either you go by Grab car or Grab bike. So an average Grab bike roughly about 5 kilometers is about 28,000 VND, which is about $1.10 USD. You can also do the Grab car, which is very typical for that same ride. It will be roughly about 120,000 VND or about $4.60 if they don't have a surcharge for the monsoon season. Then you have the public transportation system, which is the Metro Line 1. It costs about 45 cents per way to go anywhere. It is very clean, it is new, but it is also limited in the stations that you can choose from. You can also rent a scooter and play Daily Frogger for the price of roughly 55 to 70 US dollars per month. Insurance is extra. And gas is quite affordable. You can pay roughly about $10 a month if you refill every single week. Or if you get up for the Baller Executive, you can have full air conditioning and 4-wheel drive, including a chauffeur-driven life and no more helmet hair. The cost for a daily driver is between $40 to $60. And for a full-time private driver, you're looking at roughly about $500 to $600 a month, which includes the salary, the gas, insurance, and you don't have to deal with all the headaches of driving. Now, what about activities and fitness? If you live in a decently high-end condo, then there will be a gym that is free. But normally they only have 1 or 2 treadmills and a few other machines. Not really enough for a serious workout. Saigon gyms look very impressive online, but many times they look like 1990s hotel gyms. Thus, Vietnam has something for every level of commitment or denial. Budget gyms between $13 to $35 a month, basic weights, 1 or 2 treadmills, and a fan that sometimes works. Mid-range gyms between $35 to $65 a month. Now we're talking about AC, Zumba classes, yoga classes, and a shower that actually has hot water. Luxury gyms, $65 to $135 a month. You got a spa, sauna, pool, and enough mirrors for you to perfect your selfie game in between sets. So as you can see, prices are quite high compared to the United States. But that leaves an opportunity for the fitness industry if you can bring sufficient capital and know-how. I'd love to actually see a quality gym here. Aside from working out in the gym, there are a lot of outdoor activities as well. Many people like to practice tennis, and that goes for about $6 to $16 per hour in Ho Chi Minh City at some of the courts. Or you can actually join a membership of a group as well. And you're gonna pay roughly about 1.4 million, so it's about $70 per month to join a group. Some upscale condos also have tennis courts as well. Some are free, but some you have to book and pay a fee. Golf is a sport that is picking up in Vietnam as well, but it's actually quite pricey. A round of golf for 18 holes can range from $79 to $195 per 18 holes. But it comes with a caddy and a golf cart. After all the sports activities and the gym, definitely people will get regular massages. So if you're living in Vietnam, you can get a massage between $20 to $60. Other combo package would include a basic full body massage about 60 minutes for $8. And a full body plus foot combo about 120 minutes, just about 14 US dollars. So if you're gonna need regular massages when you're in Vietnam, definitely come to my spa called Aman Spa on Lê Thanh Tông. As for entertainment and nightlife, a craft beer would cost on Pastor Street about $3.50. If you're looking to get a signature cocktail, it will cost you between $10 to $14 at a mixology bar like Mosaic. Cinemas hover around $4 per ticket, and if you want popcorn, then that's double that. A weekend getaway to the beach city of Vũng Tàu, $350,000 for the limo bus, and an Airbnb would be between $14 to $38. Won't break the bank, but gives you some cheap thrills. Cost of living in Vietnam is not just about rent and nightlife. There are a lot of hidden costs that people don't talk about, but they are necessary, such as healthcare and health insurance. At English-speaking clinics, a consult would be about $80. The equivalent at a Vietnamese public hospital would only be $15, but you're also sitting with 60 other fellow patients and very limited or no English at all. International hospitals, a consult would be about $66, and room per night would be about $250 to $350 per night for a private room and full English-speaking staff. Dental crowns at an international clinic would go for about $250. These prices are actually cheaper than the US, but you definitely have to factor them in. As for a full coverage insurance for an expat that includes inpatient, evacuation, and outpatient riders for a healthy 35-year-old would cost roughly about $4,000 per year with an international insurance companies like Cigna. A quick pit stop. Only 20% of the people watching this video are part of the DG Vietnam Insider team. So hit that subscribe button so you know what the cost updates are before your landlord does. Another hidden fee is your visa and your immigration status as a foreigner in Vietnam. It should be one of your main concerns. A 90-day tourist visa allows a foreigner to live in Vietnam but needs to leave every 90 days. A typical service is a border run to Cambodia, which comes out to about $15 and takes a minimum of a half day. Every hop skip to Bangkok or Singapore will have flights of $100 to $150 per night, plus your hotels, but multiple trips back and forth on an e-visa is usually flagged. Pro tip: you should only do a 90-day e-visa about 2 times before you get flagged. Thus, afterwards, you definitely have to consult and learn about different long-term visa options. If you're on a 5-year visa exemption because you are married to a Vietnamese person or you are of Vietnamese descent, then you can stay 180 days at a time, but then you would have to have a mandatory exit stamp, with the exception that you can extend it one more time for another 180 days. If you are on a temporary residence card or a TRC via marriage, work, or investor, then you can stay up to 3 years at a time in Vietnam. Better yet, if you qualify for the Vietnamese passport, then you can stay here indefinitely. The bottom line is, if you abuse your visa run carousel, you run the risk of triggering a 1-year blacklist from Vietnam. Thus, saving $50 today can impact your Southeast Asia dreams tomorrow. Another hidden fee are the import taxes on everyday luxuries. Imagine a 2-pound whey protein that would cost $24 in the US would cost $50 in Vietnam due to shipping and a 30% import duty. Premium baby formula, foreign vitamins, and any imported products, you have to plan accordingly. Welcome to the foreign luxury product tax. If you're a digital nomad and tired of the Zoom calls right next to last night's dishes, you can go to a co-working space. Co-working hot desks in places such as Dreamplex or Regis, or even here at our Yoon Global office, will go for about $85 per month. If you want a private office, you're looking at between $215 to $430 a month. If you have kids, then you know their cost of the education will be more than your first car. For public primary schools, it's about $5 a month, but in Vietnamese only. For bilingual, semi-private school, it will be about $135 per month. International IB curriculum runs about $15,000 annual tuition fee, and then a $1,000 a month on this capital development fee that nobody knows what it is. So now we will go through the monthly breakdown for the digital nomad to the baller executive. For the first category, housing and utilities, for the budget nomad, $300. For the balance expat, $850. And for the baller executive, $1,950. For groceries, for the budget nomad, $90. For the balance expat, $140. And for the baller executive, $320. And for eating out and nightlife, budget, $80. Balance, $240. Baller, $650. For transportation, budget, $40. Balance, $140. And baller, $600. For fitness and hobbies, budget, $15. Balance, $60. And baller, $140. Healthcare and insurance, budget, $25. Balance, $95. And baller, $150. Domestic help and extras, budget, nothing. Balance, $40. Baller, $300. For the grand total of budget, $550. Balance, $1,565. Baller, $4,110. Take a screenshot of this breakdown to see which lifestyle fits you best. Budget nomad, balance expat, or baller executive. We deliver this data because misinformation costs real money and creates false expectations. If you plan to relocate, invest, or retire in Vietnam, then schedule a strategy call with me or our team, because we are the lawyers that actually live the life that we describe. So can you live in Saigon for $500? Technically, yes, if you think that survival is living in a windowless box. But the next question is, how long can you live on $500 a month? You can probably live in the short term, but in the long term, it probably doesn't make sense. You can't possibly get rent for $100 a month for long term because 1, the landlords want to prioritize that for locals. 2, it would disrupt the market. And 3, it would create inflation because you can't offer the same rates to locals as foreigners. You can't blame them. The question is it cheaper than Bangkok, Thailand? In terms of accommodations and groceries, no. But for the rest of us, Saigon 2025 is still an affordable place to live, but not a free lunch. Especially, it's not the cheapest place to live as proposed by the Vietnam tourism propaganda, and it's paid online influencers. If this breakdown saves you a costly surprise, hit that subscribe button for more intel that slaps you harder than Saigon humidity. Until next time, keep your coffee strong and your paperwork stronger. So on behalf of Duong Global, my name is Ken Duong. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.